acknowledging that a lot of things that Dr. Ordon and his colleagues do improve our self-esteem. Like any surgical procedure, plastic surgery, though, does have risks. But this one's surprising. Could it actually bring about depression or even violence? Choosing to undergo cosmetic surgery usually improves one's self-confidence and body image, but sometimes things don't end up so pretty. You wouldn't think violence and depression could be a side effect of plastic surgery, but a number of patients have threatened doctors with violence following plastic surgery. Oftentimes, the patient struggled with serious mental health issues. In one case, after what seemed to be a successful nose job, the patient returned to the clinic with a gun and threatened to shoot himself and others. In fact, over the last 20 years, 5 American plastic surgeons have actually been killed by distressed patients. Are plastic surgeons doing enough to red flag potential problem patients? Dr. O, is this something that you've either experienced or...
I've known of colleagues that have been threatened, and I have met some of these that actually died as a result of unhappy patients coming into their office. So this
murdered them.
Murdered them, yes. And typically in this last case, it was about a nose. You know, there's a profile of unhappy young men after nasal surgery. They have sort of a profile of becoming the most angry and potentially violent after plastic surgery. But part of our training now is, you know, learning to be a psychiatrist and a psychologist as well, and determining, is somebody doing elective plastic surgery for the right reasons? Do they have realistic expectations? And in so doing, you have to ask in your mind, can you make them happy? And that's where this whole body dysmorphic syndrome comes in these patients. It's a form of obsessive compulsive disorder that these patients, they think they will be happy after plastic surgery, but nothing will make them happy. It's a different condition.
And that's, I think you said something profound. Can you make them happy? Plastic surgery is an elective procedure that you are either satisfied with or not. But if anyone expects the surgery itself or the surgeon to make them happy,
that's a problem.
That's never going to happen, because happiness comes from within. Being satisfied with your nose job is one thing. What worries me here is there ever a scenario where you say to yourself, okay, yeah, I can't make this person happy because that's not my job, but there is no way they're going to be satisfied, so I cannot operate on this person and
having done this 30 years and missed some there and regretted that I operated on them now, you know, I get it. And I say, no, you're not a surgical candidate more now than I ever did.
Because it probably, though, for you is more like incessant calls. They're calling, they're coming by, they're telling everybody that you're this bad surgeon because they look terrible.
Oh, they are. But and they'll start, we're sitting in the waiting room and like talk to other patients. Oh, I'm so, like, this is just.
Yeah, like, look at my nose, it's terrible.
And then it's one of those where you see them on the list, you're going to see them that day and as a follow-up, and you're like, well, there goes my day. It's like one of those that you can't make them happy. So that has to be a part of the process for plastic surgeons now. And it doesn't end there. After surgery, I mean, this post-plastic surgery depression, just like postpartum depression, is a real entity. Because, you know, making physical changes, a lot of the times there's emotional component afterwards. Oh, I spent this money. Oh, I'm so vain. I feel guilty. People told me not to do this. People aren't noticing, or people are noticing and going, what the heck did you do to yourself? So it's all of those scenarios that feed into, wow, did I make
the right decision?
And then when you feed in that a lot of times there's heavy medication going on after surgery, which could throw that depression into a real tailspin. In fact,
we saw that lady who committed suicide.
We sure did.
Earlier this year.
In Beverly Hills.
It's a complicated deal, and I'm glad that now everyone realizes it.